It's the Slam Dunk.
Okay, I thought Donald Trump's and J.D. Vance's humiliation of Ukrainian President Zelenskyy was just appalling. The super rich and super powerful demanding that the battered and bruised and war-fatigued Ukrainian hero show more gratitude for America's so-called support. Say thank you, they said. It was brutal. It was a brutal confrontation in the Oval Office that's ever been seen by the public. This was unprecedented. It was a public dressing down, an arrogant in-your-face challenge when international class diplomacy was needed. America served up two A-grade arseholes who put the boot into Zelenskyy so hard it took shell shock to a whole new meaning. Really did. Have a look at this.
You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
So the world watched and was stunned, and seasoned politicians in Washington stood up and bravely condemned the president with words saved for the worst of the worst.
Let's just cut to the chase. The president of the United States is a coward who is Vladimir Putin's puppet. And the vice president of the United States is a pogue and a coward who is Donald Trump's puppet. And so what we just witnessed was a meeting in the Oval Office between two cowardly puppets and a hero.
Congressman, I wonder if you think that President Zelenskyy could have handled it differently, the way that some of his European counterparts and Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer did, and perhaps been more deferential to Trump and Vance.
Deferential to what? Deferential to a president who allowed a deal in his first term to crumble because Putin just violated it? Deferential to a vice president who didn't even bother to visit Ukraine? I hardly know anyone in Congress who has any view on national security who hasn't been to Ukraine during this war. Deferential to a draft dodger who's our commander-in-chief? Zelenskyy doesn't deserve to be deferential to anyone in that Oval Office. In fact, I kind of wish he'd put them in their place a little bit stronger. The vast, vast majority of my Republican colleagues in Congress completely agree with me. They know the truth here. They're just too scared to say it themselves.
Now, our Prime Minister was, again, timid in his response. He's walking a tightrope, of course. We back Ukraine, but we don't want to upset the others, I suppose, as well. So we say not much. Because what if Chinese warships come our way? We might need America, and can we still rely on them? I'm not sure we can. I don't think we can at all. And that should worry all of us, because these events have changed the world as we know it. Just have a look at what's happened. This confirms that three big powerful men now run the world. Trump, Xi Jinping and Putin. The war criminal who now seemingly has Trump doing some of his dirty work. A man who invaded a country and murdered innocents. He should be at the War Crimes Tribunal, not sitting at the table with America doing a deal on Ukraine while Ukraine waits for the invite. This week, America voted with Iran and voted with North Korea to back Russia. It's 100 years of consensus gone. Putin will be laughing and licking his chops at the collapse of the West in the past 24 hours. He can do anything now because, well, he just has, and he's got away with it. America used to be able to be relied upon, to turn up and front up, and consistently we knew what side they were on. It was the right side of things. But now that consistency and reliability has been shattered. Europe is reeling because the security blanket of America has been pulled off them. So they're regrouping, wondering what it all means. Where to now? World agreements, tribunals, unions, all sorts of international protocols designed to uphold international law and trade and rules. So good guys like us, little guys, don't get railroaded. They mean nothing now because the three men are in charge, because the rules have changed. And the big three, they're making the rules now. Trump will do what's best for Trump, I reckon. Now, I've been to the White House Oval Office twice. First time was when Helen Clark met George Bush. Second time, John Key met Obama. I've sat in there. I've thrown questions. I've been where they were. I've been shut down and escorted out. They never go the way it just went. That was by design. For a start, they're called sprays, where the two leaders get together. Okay, it's highly stage managed. It's quick. You're allowed to get them talking briefly about their meeting. They pass a few inane comments. You try and get some questions. You shut down and you get walked out of there so that diplomatic embarrassments and tricky moments are avoided. Once I threw a question in there to George Bush, and he told me he liked my suit. It was enough time to get us out the door, basically, when they ushered us out. But Trump and his people staged that Oval Office assault on Zelenskyy. It was a play to domestic Americans to show them that, well, we've got your back. And it was a play to the world to show them there's a new sheriff in town making things up and making his own rules. I thought it was unnecessarily reckless. Now he watches its piece back together, if that is at all possible. Good luck.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.